It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Welcome to 2K Sports, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kenny the Jet Smith. Tonight, we'll be watching the Houston Rockets playing against the Pelicans in New Orleans. Well, for New Orleans, they've had a tough time over the last few weeks. 3-7 in their last 10 games. We'll see if they can make amends tonight. And as we reach the midway point, Kenny, still a lot of games left on the schedule. How do players cope with the wear and tear their bodies go through?
Well, a lot of times when you're mentally or physically tired, you know, you could sit there and all of a sudden you misquote things, you missay things here on the analyst desk. On the basketball court, that's turnovers. That's missing assignments, missing rebounds. Same thing. Like, I know this is our, 82nd game this year. You're starting to feel it a little bit. That's how those guys feel.
I didn't know the midpoint was the 82nd game. But anyway, injuries start to take a toll.
No, but we've done 82 two games. Doesn't mean the teams.
We've done a lot of games in our role here in the
right.
We
get 2 games a night, remember?
on the set.
Yeah, anyway, I was saying the injuries, they start to take a toll. Not just the big ones, the little ones. Type of injuries I hate are the freak injuries. One time, Ernie, I was walking with my shoes off, stubbed my toe.
That's called barefoot.
That's a freak injury. Stubbed my toe, was out for 6 weeks. So you got to get rest, eat well.
Well, if you kick a brick wall, that's not a...
And man up.
Yeah, maybe you should. Here's Kevin Harlan.
Live from New Orleans, 2K Sports proudly brings you NBA basketball from the home of the Pelicans. Looking at the last game for the Houston Rockets, it was a win against the Spurs. And they pulled off a 3-point win in that one. Too close for comfort, but they'll take it.
How about the energy level defensively in that game? I mean, they made finding an open shot a very difficult task for their opponents.
And it wasn't just in the half court. I mean, I thought they were excellent in transition defense as well. They didn't give up any easy baskets because they always had good floor balance and got back after the miss.
A look at the opening lineup for the Houston Rockets. Kevin Love out there with Splitter. Then there's Aflalo. Then it's Lawson. And it's Brewer in at the small forward position. And something not a lot of people talk about, Ty Lawson's defense. He has the lateral quickness, Clark, and strong lower body that gives, point guards fits.
Yeah, he's like a fire hydrant in terms of his build and strength. He's a good ball defender, but he gambles sometimes, so that can cut both ways. He'll get steals, but he'll also put you in tough positions defensively.
Splitter with a screen on White. Lawson drives in. The shot is off. So the Pelicans will take it the other way. They just couldn't come out on top last time they took on the Rockets. That one was played down in Houston.
Yeah, in this game, they'll want to approach things a little differently, I think. Got blown out last time due to being a little too aggressive on the defensive side.
Well, if I was being diplomatic about it, they were a little too aggressive. I mean, in reality, they took far too many fouls. And because of that, they had to go to their bench earlier than they wanted to.
Here's Aflalo, and the Pelicans picked up 3 with their last shot. 6 to shoot. Lawson drives in. Can't get it to fall. The Pelicans have gone 2 or 3 here to start out the game. Finish off the break. The dude's got his first 2 points of the night.
How about 3 or 4 from the floor to start? That's always a good sign.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Sure could, Kev. I mean, too many empty trips. They need some points.
Got freed up. Nice work off the pit. Lawson's got his first points of the game.
The defense has got to do a much better job of fighting over those screens.
And, Greg, especially when the ball is in his hands. I mean, come on now. He doesn't miss too many open looks like that.
Here's the dude. 23 points for him the last game against the Heat in Miami. The shot. They get it back. Monroe buries it down low. Monroe's got his second basket of the game.
And the defense just gets caught standing around that time and giving up the second chance opportunity.
You know, that just can't happen. They need much more effort than that on the glass.
Splitter misses.
And trying to come up with the highlight reel finish, somebody forgot to finish it.
White with it. Now Lawson defending. Monroe wide open, and the Pelicans get it back. Shot by Gordon, wide open. Off target from three-point range. Lawson against Gordon. 18 feet out. It's rebounded by New Orleans. They're moving on after the tough loss they took at the hands of Miami.
And one of the factors, Kevin, that really hurt them in that game, the lack of success at the foul line. We all know how much those free throw woes can cost you.
And it gave those opposing fans a boost every time another foul shot clanged off the rim. I mean, that's an easy way to get the home crowd in your grill. I think he's got to regroup and get himself together here. I mean, something's going wrong with him this quarter. He's really falling off.
Monroe, the pass to Ingram. Outside, White. Some nice passing here by New Orleans. Monroe with it. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against Miami.
It would have been something to see if he could hit that shot from that deep.
Greg, you know it. I know it. There aren't very many guys that can hit from out there. But he is one of them. That's the kind of range he has. They really can't allow him too many open looks like that. I mean, that's just inviting trouble.
Outside, White. Screen by Monroe. And White kicks to Gordon. Second chance shot, and he was fouled in the act of shooting. Chance here now for a three-point play.
Yeah, how about the purpose with which he's crashing the backboards right now? Some hard-earned second chance points.
And what you have to like out of Valanciunas last season, improved efficiency. The game really, Clark, seemed to slow down for him.
Yeah, he entered the league a little green. I mean, would make a lot of mistakes, but had excellent tools. So with enthusiasm and hard work, you knew it was just a matter of time with him.
And the free throw, no good.
And for Valanciunas last year, his offensive production was similar to the year before, but he cut down on his turnovers. He also raised his shooting percentage to a career-high 57%, and that, my friends, is improved efficiency.
Now, here's Brewer. Jonas Valanciunas unable to get his shot to go. Aflalo, no good.
Good little two-man action there, but they just can't get the shot to fall.
Yeah, but that was a beauty. Good-looking shot, well-executed play. I wouldn't be surprised to see them go back to it. You know, talking about Valanciunas, the light clearly went on last season. He was more assertive, refined his post game. The next step is to extend his shooting range so he can help space the floor on offense. He's hit the ground running here in the first, putting together a nice quarter offensively.
Now here's White. He had an 18-point outing in their last game against the Heat in Miami.
And he also looked to attack at the defensive end of the floor. 3 steals in that game.
You know, a team's rebounding is one of the great measures of its energy, and theirs has been terrific in the first quarter.
Yeah, they've brought it in terms of having another level of intensity right from the tip.
Boy, that's a nice feed by Lawson.
Lawson against White. Screened by Valanciunas. Here's the dude. Checking some stats on him right now. He's averaging just around 22.5 points a game. Gordon for 3. Sinks it. What range from outside. Wow. Gordon's got himself going with the triple. His first basket of the game.
And you know, guys, Eric Gordon was an unbelievable three-point shooter last season. 45% from behind the arc. The first time he's been over 40% in his career.
And now the first timeout called here for the Rockets. You know, we were talking about Eric Gordon. He's always had great range, but not always the great shot selection.
You know, and that's a great point because, you know, we see now that he's starting to mature, starting to value every possession. And that's good news for the rest of that team.
New Orleans making a switch here. Ashik's checked in, and the Rockets making a change here as well. Jones is checked in. The Rockets trail. Lawson dishes to Afflalo. Now here's Brewer. Tight defense on him. The feed to Afflalo. Makes it off the glass. Afflalo's got 7 points. Well, for New Orleans, shooting just 35% to start the game. There's the screen. White drives in. Good work defensively by Jones.
And typically he has the touch to finish when he's in tight, but not sure on that possession.
Good on the shot. Love's got his first bucket of the night.
They've had assists now on their last 3 baskets.
And it's not just their passing, but also the body movement off the ball that's created a lot of those opportunities.
Here's the dude. Monroe with a screen on Afflalo. Screen by Monroe. Passes it to White. 5 to shoot. New Orleans needs to get off a shot. Ingram. No good on the triple.
Not really his best quarter as far as scoring. Let's see if he can eventually get back on track.
And Love with the basket on the assist by Lawson. Lawson's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. Afflalo against Gordon. That one drops, and he's now 2 for 5.
Well, that's one way he can finish, but far from the only way he gets it done. He's got all kinds of tricks up his sleeve.
Lawson outside. Goes up on the wing, and the Rockets getting another bucket right there.
Fantastic ball movement. They're picking them apart with their passing.
Purposeful passing it is, partner. Their last 10 points have all come off assists.
Here's the dude, and he dunks it after the pick frees him up.
Big time finish. Emphatic.
He hangs on the rim, too, just for good measure.
Yeah, but guys, nothing wrong with a little bit of showboating every now and then. Nobody even close to him, and he can't believe he doesn't knock it down.
Count the bucket coming off a perfectly placed assist. The dude's got the game tied up here for New Orleans. Now, here is Lawson. He's coming off a 25-point game against San Antonio.
And also, his assist total tells you about the job he did of keeping his head up and keeping his teammates involved.
And here's New Orleans now. Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Yes, a bit ago, Kevin McHale and I were able to catch up. After taking the first matchup with them, he wants his team to be even more assertive on the offensive end. He told me, I feel we can have our way on offense, get them into matchups that they don't like, and find points that way. It's what helped in our first meeting. Let's see if they can do it again here, guys.
Okay, Doris, well, the offensive approach, a primary force in the game plan today, guys.
Yeah, they are out to put up a big number today, and I think they can do it.
Well, that certainly seems to be the goal. I mean, it could be a shootout if their plans come to fruition.
Now a timeout called by Houston.
Well, you know, Hall of Famer and 3-time champion Kevin McHale, the Rockets coach, did nothing but find success and win as a player. And, you know, that's been the same song for him as a coach.
Some changes for New Orleans. Alexis Ajinça has checked in for Monroe. Solomon Hill comes in for Gordon, and it's Norris Cole in for White. Houston also making some changes. KJ McDaniels, he's checked in for Brewer. Thornton comes in for Aaron Afflalo, and it's Patrick Beverly in for Ty Lawson. Here's Thornton. He averages a bit over 6 points a game. And Beverly kicks to Love. Takes it from 10, and the shot is good. Love's got his third basket of the night. 6 changes of the lead here.
Yeah, no team able to build a big lead early on. I mean, it's tight.
Yeah, both teams still kind of feeling their way through this game.
Now here is Hill. 8 points his last outing. He dishes it to Cole. There's the triple. And rebounded by McDaniels.
And already we've got a very lopsided edge on the boards for them.
Yeah, +5. As you mentioned, that didn't take very long, did it?
Beverly wide open. And another 3 for Houston. Pelicans trail by 4. We've got 1:55 left to play here in the first. Cole, the pass to Ingram. Another one falls for New Orleans.
He's simply a machine at the offensive end. I wonder how far behind they'd be if he wasn't having this kind of quarter.
Dishes it to Thornton for 3. Can't get it to go. Now New Orleans will take it the other way. Outside Hill. The pass to Ingram. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. Last year, the Pelicans, Greg, pushed their way into the postseason. It was a neck-and-neck battle for that number 8 spot, as you recall, with the Oklahoma City Thunder.
And how about the excitement down the stretch? They were able to edge out the Thunder and Russell Westbrook on that just point binge down the stretch there. And what a final day that was. A big, huge win over the Spurs let them get into the postseason for the first time under the Pelican moniker.
First free throw is good.
And as you said, I mean, New Orleans made the playoffs for the first time under the name Pelicans. Unfortunately for them, they ran into the Warriors in the first round and were promptly swept away.
And he makes both free throws.
And thinking back to the Pelicans playoffs from last year, let a 20-point lead slip away in that fourth quarter of Game 3. But they played better than a sweep and got valuable postseason experience for that young roster.
Thornton, no good.
But that would have been lucky had it fallen. Poor shot selection.
Yeah, look at the coach's face and the expression. It says all over it. Are you kidding me?
Houston's gone 3 of 4 on 3-pointers in the first quarter, doing well from long range. Feeds it to Jones. 3-pointer. Pelicans pull it in. Here's Cole. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard. New Orleans moving it around. Clock at 6. Pulls up on the wing. And he overshot that one, missing. 23 seconds left in the first quarter. There's the steal. And pushing it up. Here's New Orleans. Drops in the breakaway layup. Cole's got his first basket of the night.
That is up-tempo basketball at its best. So much easier to operate in the open court when a steal triggers the break.
And really, basketball is about rhythm, and that allows your offense to flow better. Now let's see if they can build on it and keep this lead.
And he drains the three, but let's see. They may need to review it. I'm not sure the ball was out of his hand in time. And it looks like they are going to review the play. The question, did he get the basket off in time?
And a chance here to just double-check the ruling on the floor. I wasn't sure if he got it off in time or not, so I appreciate the second look as well.
And you know what? We're watching exactly what the officials are seeing, Greg, from the NBA Replay Center in Secaucus. We've got the time right here, so they're making sure they got it right.
Basket's good.
And they've taken a look at it, and they've overturned the call. They've overturned the call. They're calling the basket good, Greg.
Yeah, and that's why we have replay. I mean, to make sure the officials don't miss any calls. And really, a good job to take the second look at it. Would have been a shame if they'd been cheated out of those points.
The scoring fast and furious as we end the first quarter. New Orleans on top. They're up by 5. The second quarter coming up right after this break, so don't go anywhere. And Rockets head coach Kevin McHale spent some time with us in the broadcast booth, but he said it just wasn't the same. He missed that competition. That's an interesting perspective on competitiveness and what happens when you're no longer in the thick of it, especially, Clark, when you're as physical a player as McHale was.
Yeah, you know, I certainly understand where he's coming from. I mean, I'm living it in many ways, but for me, it's about the love of the game and sharing that with so many other people who love the same things I do, whether they ever played or not. There's some common ground even outside of the competitive court.
And the first quarter is in the books. Second about ready to get underway. And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for New Orleans.
Tell you what, guys, they're showing us a lot of energy early on and racking up those fast break points.
Yeah, also, though, they've done a good job of pounding the offensive glass for second chance points.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade as the second quarter gets going. Taking a look at the Rockets, we've got Terrence Jones, Thornton out there with Patrick Beverly. Then it's Splitter, and it's McDaniels in at the 3 spot. And the one thing Tiago Splitter gives you every year, Clark, is consistency. The numbers, the effort, the results, all very familiar every year.
Yeah, his game is really built on the intangibles. He hustles, he knows where he's supposed to be, he gets to the right spot at the right time, crashes the boards, takes charges. He does all the little stuff.
Looking who's out there now for the Pelicans. Monroe's checked in for Alexis Ajinça. Gordon comes in for Hill, and it's White in for Norris Cole. Valanciunas with a screen on a Flalo. A look from Gordon, and he connects on the jumper. The screen did the trick. Gordon's got the lead up to 7 now for New Orleans.
And for Tiago Splitter, he's been a relatively unsung player in his career, never getting his number called on offense, receiving little recognition from the media, but providing tough defense in the post. He shot over 55%, crashes the boards in the 20 minutes or so a game that he gets. So that's been good enough to really establish a productive career.
Here's Valanciunas, and Jones pulls it down.
You know, they don't score on that shot, but they're going to be happy with those kinds of possessions.
Jones with the screen on White. Splitter sets a screen. Lawson against White. 6 on the shot clock. Lets it go from deep. There's the dish to Lawson. Second quarter of play with around 2 minutes gone so far. And Aflalo kicks to Splitter. Tries again. Back to Aflalo. Over Monroe. And there's Aflalo. That's good on the assist by Splitter. 9 points for Aaron Aflalo.
You know, getting back to Splitter, yes, you need superstars to win in this league, but you also need guys like him, guys who put the team first, will bust the gut to carry out their responsibilities on the floor. off the court, and in the locker room. You need all of that to be a championship team.
Nothing seems to be going down for him today.
Second quarter of play with almost 3 minutes gone. Lawson dishes to Jones and stolen by Gordon. Kicks it to Valanciunas. To the left wing. New Orleans moving it around. It's stolen by Jones. Stolen by Gordon. White drives in, and that one's good.
Not fazed at all by having a bigger defender on him down low, and I really thought he would be.
You know, at first glance, you wouldn't think that he'd be comfortable in that particular situation, but, boy, I tell you what, he didn't look like he was out of his element at all right there.
And he's got his first chance at the line here.
One shot. One shot.
In a season where everyone in the Southwest made it to the playoffs, you just knew it was going to be a war of attrition night in and night out. Still, the Rockets managed to come out on top in the division.
Lawson drives in, and he gets the shot to fall after coming off the pick. Lawson's got 11.
You can't afford to get him that kind of a look.
Well, you know, he came off a good screen, but still, as a defender, you've got to do a better job of fighting over and through that.
Monroe. And it comes off the front of the rim.
And he rushed that one, no doubt about it. The D out of position, you can see the frustration on his face.
Screen by Jones. Lawson the pass to Jones. Fires from 14, and it's Houston with another. And the Rockets were just 8 up and 8 down in the Southwest Division. But, Clark, they won the out-of-division games they needed to in order to take the division crown.
Exactly, and it was a tough year to do that because the division was so tough. It was actually the first ever Southwest Division title for the Rockets.
From downtown, no good. And New Orleans will go the other way with it. They get to take on the Magic at Orlando after this one. That'll be just one game played away from home for them.
Just not there from a rhythm standpoint right now. It's really eluding him.
Screen by Monroe. Brewer with the steal. Lawson against White. Screen by Jones. Here's Brewer. And the whistle blows. It'll be on Thiago Splitter. That'll be his second foul of the game. New Orleans leading by 4. Screen by Monroe. And White kicks to Gordon. He feeds it to Valanciunas. White a screen. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Unloads from 13. Buries the jump shot. And the Pelicans lead by 6.
Wow, he was just wide open there. That's way too easy.
White against Lawson. Down goes basket number 6 for him this game. He's taken 12 shots and made half of them.
And how about the burst in that first step, just right to the rim?
Now White, he's got 6. Monroe outside. Lawson's against White. Lets it go with a 3. Count the bucket. White's got 9.
Nice stroke from long range. And if he keeps getting those opportunities, he better take them.
Well, New Orleans is still a relatively young team, but they play with the maturity, I think, Clark, that's beyond their years.
You know, Kevin, the average age for them last year was just over 25 years old, and the youngest team in the West, actually, to make it to the playoffs last year.
Now a timeout called by Houston.
And for the Pelicans, part of why they look so mature is how they protect leads. I mean, rarely giving away points for free and knowing how to close out games.
The dude, he's checked in for Quincy Pondexter. Love's checked in for Houston. Rockets trail by 7.
And you know, guys, the Pelicans only lost 5 games last year where they led going into the fourth quarter. They won 38 when entering the fourth quarter with the lead. That's very mature basketball for a team that's as young as they are.
Outside Gordon. Screen by Monroe. White against the Flalo. And it's a defensive 3-second violation. New Orleans shooting their 5th free throw of the game here.
Boy, last year the Rockets dealt with a lot of injuries. I mean, the front court and post players were hit the hardest. I think almost every Rocket big would end up missing some time.
Omer Ashe, he's checked in for the Pelicans. Valanciunas dishes to White. And so he draws the foul on the shot, a trip to the line to shoot 2. And last season, GA, as you were talking about, the injuries for the Rockets did pile up. Dwight Howard was out. Terrence Jones was out. They missed those guys for multiple games.
Yeah, and that hurt them inside. But also, remember, Beverly goes down right before the playoffs. So, in all, the Rockets had 180 missed games on their roster due to injury. Amazing they stayed so resilient and were able to capture that 2 seed.
And that one falls for White.
It's been a solid outing for White. He's got 10 points, and he's picked up 6 points from behind the arc.
I love the rhythm his outside stroke has produced today.
Good on both.
No wasted trips at all. They're taking care of business at the line.
One way to protect the lead, knock down those free throws, and 100% free throwing for the quarter, that's superb.
Love with the screen for Brewer. Screen by Jones. And a follow wide open. He shoots. Another miss by Houston.
Well, they've only got a slight edge in rebounding when you look at the numbers, but it certainly feels a lot bigger than it is.
Yeah, the score has a lot to do with that. Their overall effort and execution has been elite.
Really unfortunate for Eric Gordon that an assortment of injuries have really derailed his career. A few years back, he looked like he'd be an absolute star. Once a 22 points a game score, was down to 13 a game last season.
Proof shots. Roof shots.
And that one misses. Yeah, on the topic of Eric Gordon, one would think he's still young and talented enough to be a difference maker with any team. He just has to stay healthy. That really is the bottom line. He's got to keep his health.
Kevin, the truth is, though he's had a number of injuries, they've all been different. It isn't one chronic thing. So with a little good luck, we could see him shine once more.
He hits the second from the line.
Yeah, the Rockets were able to make it to the second spot in the West at the very end of the season. Actually came down to the last day. They could have ended as low as 6th going into the final game.
And it's blocked. Oh, and here we go with Gordon. Nobody back. Lays it in off the breakaway. Gordon's got 5 points now this quarter.
And boy, has he picked it up since the start of the second. His shots now starting to fall.
It's a pick by Love. With the teardrop to end the run. And he didn't get quite enough under that one. Last season for the Rockets, they finished as the #2 team in the West to the Golden State Warriors. But, they had to battle the whole way through.
Yeah, in part because of injuries. I mean, the Rockets did well to come in second in the West, but it was because they took care of the so-called easy games. 33 wins in the conference, but a record of 12-16 against the other playoff teams out West.
Talk about great numbers for the dude. 16 points, and he's contributed 3 points from the line, too.
And those free throws add up, guys. That is extra offense.
And he makes the first. Well, this is really one of the nicer buildings in the NBA right downtown, Clark, this home of the Pelicans across from the Superdome.
Kevin, you're always worried about how close we are to Bourbon Street when we come here, man. But, yeah, this was a fortress for the Pelicans last season as they won some big games here for sure.
And the Pelicans making a change here. Hill's checked in. And good on the second, so he makes them both.
And you talk about the big wins here for the Pelicans last year. How about they beat the Warriors late in the year, which was huge to get into the postseason, as well as the Spurs on that final day to fight their way into that 8th spot.
Ingram passes to Hill. That's good. Hill's got his first points in this one.
And the big lead becomes bigger. They are playing with purpose here tonight, guys.
And they're doing it at both ends of the floor. I mean, that's what you like to see. They've been controlling the action from both ends of the court. And, the Pelicans ended 28-13 here last season. A 6-win improvement for them from the season before. They can be a scary team when this place is jumping. Not the guy you want to send to the line, Kevin.
The Pelicans have shot 9 of 11 at the free throw line.
And their success rate on the season, right around 77%.
And comparing to the numbers of last season, they've made a bit of improvement. So that's some positive momentum they can look to build on.
The Rockets were terrific on the road last season, Clark. Tied for second with the Clippers for the most road wins in the league.
26-15, although if you want to get picky about it, they had one of those wins in Mexico City, so maybe 25.5 road wins for them.
And here's Beverly. 11 points for him in that last game against San Antonio. Ashik against Love. And he bangs it home with one hand.
Nothing fancy there. Didn't need it.
Nope. His only concern right now, Clark, is getting the points on the board, and I don't mean style points.
I like the simplicity.
Well, there's also style just with the fact that he's able to have that kind of a finish, though. Still, I like that pretty one-handed flush.
Shot clock at 6. The 3 from Hill, and that is good. Hill's got 5 points now this quarter.
And I do remember that Mexico City game last year for the Rockets. A huge turnout for them. It felt like they were the crowd favorites. Still, you can't take anything away from their road performances last season.
Here's Jones. Out of hand on it, but he gets it back. Pass to Beverly. Screen by Jones, and there's the feed to Thornton. Offline with his 3.
And, you think about the Rockets, as you mentioned. I mean, one reason they were so good on the road was their offense didn't miss a beat when they left Houston. When you can get to the line as much as they did, you remain consistent on the road.
Love with the screen for Beverly. Out to the right wing. Lets it fly. Kevin Love again. Love's got 10 points in the game.
And the shooting has really been there for him today, but he may have to take it upon himself to continue to carry this team and try and get out of this hole.
Thornton against Hill. They set the pick. Here's Cole. He has 6. And rebounded by McDaniels. Rockets trail by 17. He kicks it to Love. Pass to Beverly. Screen by Jones. It's Jones on the wing. Again, the miss by Jones.
A good board there, Kevin, but overall they're getting slightly out-rebounded.
And that's a good place to start if you're going to try to find your way back into this game. Get to work on the glass. Well, I think the defense got lucky right there. I mean, he's going to make a lot more of those than he misses when he's got that much room.
Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
And guys, the wheels really fell off of Marcus Thornton's game last year. This was a deadly shooter who averaged over 21 points a game only a few seasons ago. But last season, under double figures at 9 per contest.
And the first one at the line is good. And on the topic of Thornton, Greg, last season he wasn't all bad. He did hit, a career-high 42% of his threes. Clark, the problem is he didn't provide anything else.
Yeah, he's an Allen wrench. He's a specialist. I mean, he's never been a great playmaker, rebounder, or defender. His money is made with his jump shot.
Pelicans leading by 15. Here's Cole. 6 points for him. Outside Hill. 50 seconds left in the first half of basketball. That's good. Ajinsa's got 4 this quarter.
They've settled into a nice groove offensively here in the second.
Yeah, and that field goal percentage zooming upwards is now above 50%, which is pretty strong.
Here's Jones, and that one's good. Jones has got his second basket of the night.
Really aggressive play there, taking it to the rack against the big fella.
Greg, aggressiveness is really the only option when you're on the wrong side of the size equation.
Rockets trail by 15. 2-second difference between shot clock and game clock. And some nice passing there by Houston. And here's Love for 3. Rebounded by Ajinsa. Here's Cole. To the left wing. Here's Ingram. Off target with his 3. And so that's the end of the first half. Pelicans lead by 15. And a chance now to send you over to Doris Burke, standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Ty, looking back at the flow of the game during this first half, what adjustments do you think are necessary?
We got to slow down the second chance points and a fast break. I think we're stopping on the first shot, but then we let them get the rebound and play right back in. So I know Coach will say something about that in the locker room.
You've got to finish those defensive possessions, Ty. Thanks for the time. Gentlemen?
All right, Doris, thank you. And time now for the halftime break with the third quarter soon to follow here on 2K Sports.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, everybody. It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show. Ernie Johnson along with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. A competitive matchup for New Orleans in the first quarter. Their largest deficit of the period was just 4 points. They were right there within shouting distance the entire time. The second quarter got a lot more exciting for them as they were putting up big numbers and find themselves way out in front here at the half. Kenny, your thoughts, how the Pelicans are playing?
I love how they opened the game up. They pushed the ball up court at every opportunity, and they put the defense on their heels. But it wasn't just a track meet. It was a well-thought-out strategy that the coaches had way beforehand. We'll see what adjustments get made to try to stop their transition game in the second half.
Shaq, how'd you think the Rockets were playing?
Sloppy ball, way too many wasted possessions, chucking up threes, missing them. I could hit more threes than that, Ernie. I hope they're talking right now about getting the ball inside, because that's what it's going to take. If they were hitting more threes, it'd be a different story. But if was the fifth, Ernie, you know the rest.
And that's it for halftime as the second half is just about to get underway. See you after the game.
And as we welcome you back, we begin our second half. So far, not a tightly contested game, guys, but, anything can happen. We're seeing a tremendous game from the dude.
Yeah, one of the things about the